introduction to programming, right? Our subject name is introduction to programming. That is about C programming language. What is there in first chapter? Very different, right? At present, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning or artificial intelligence, more skills, more efficient one. Till now it is okay. In future it is not possible, right? Everyone knows the situation. Everybody knows the situation. What is happening outside? Okay, they want skills, highly skilled people, not simple skills, not a degree. No one cares about your degree, right? Hmm. What is there in first unit? Can anyone? Anybody? What you people learned in first unit? About computers and the components, right? Computers means components. Next one, data types. Data types. Next, operators. Ah, this answer is good. If someone speaks, we can add more voices. Everybody is giving answer, right? Right? Ah, algorithm. Next, flowchart. Okay, for a given problem, we want to write a program, right? For any problem, we want to write a program. What is the procedure? Procedure, not program. Before writing the program, the steps. Writing program is the last one, right? Before that, can anyone? Hmm. Algorithm. For a problem, okay, we need to understand the problem, right? Thoroughly. We need to understand the problem. Next one, think of solutions, right? Possible solutions, all possible solutions. Then, out of all possible solutions, we need to select one, only one solution. Based on. Okay, we found many solutions, but for a problem, okay, at last, at the end, we must select only one, right? How to select that one? How to select that one? Based on conditions, based on based on condition, constraints or limitations. Limitations could antama, right? Okay, we have very limited configuration is there. Hardware configuration is there. Very high end configuration is there, right? Okay, we need to write a program where the configuration is very limited. Only 1 GB RAM is available, or only 2 GB RAM is available, or high end configuration is there, for example 16 GB RAM. Okay, you cannot you write the same program for 2 GB RAM and 16 GB RAM. Always think of efficiency, right? Even in software industry also, whenever we write a program that is not final, they will ask you, the senior people will ask you again, refine it. Okay, always ask for refinement. Okay, for example, previously whatever the project is there, whatever the module is there, its size is for example 10 MB. 10 MB size or 5000 lines is there. Next time they will ask me, okay, reduce this 5000 lines to some 2000 lines or 3000 lines for the same output, for the same expectation, expected output is same. But reduce the number of lines. And what are the memory allocation is there? That memory allocation must be very less. For example, previously 100 MB space is required. Now we convert it into at minimum requirement. I am giving you just only 50 MB space, memory space. For that memory, 50 MB memory space only, just write the program, update the program. Easy task. Is that an easy one? Easier? The same program, but we need to refine every time. That performance must be improved, that efficiency must be improved, effectiveness of the program must be improved. Okay, and whatever the output is there, that output must not be changed, modified. The same output is required, right? And when it comes to programming language, the basic things are the starting point of programming language, data types, the starting point of any programming language. Data types, data types. The first issue is that data type. What type of data we can use in that programming language? First, first issue, right? Okay, we have the programming language means, okay. First of all, we need to decide what type of data we can use in C programming language. And any limitations for that data type? Any limitation? For example, integer, we have data types, integer is there, integer, float, character, double, long double, some complex number is also available. Different data types are available. Then, is there any limitation for all these different data types? Or we can use infinite numbers for all data types. The capability of machine, computer is limited or unlimited? The capability of computer machine, limited or unlimited? Limited, right? Memory is limited, right? Memory is limited. Okay, I am using only 4 GB RAM, I am using only 6 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, that's it. And my storage exceeds 8 GB RAM, then system cannot handle, right? Even for operating system is there. Even for operating system also, there are so many limitations. My operating system can map, can hold addresses up to some extent only, just 16 GB. If you use maximum 16 GB, yes, my operating system can take care of 16 GB, nothing more than that. If I install 32 GB or 64 GB RAM, the operating system cannot handle those memory locations, Why? Because everything is under the control of operating system. Yes or no? Right? Whenever we talk about machine requires operating system. We have the machine, for that machine, it requires operating system. Right? That means, what is the role of operating system next? What is the role of operating system? Everything, all hardware components are under the control of operating system. All hardware components. Each and every hardware component is controlled by monitored, everything by the operating system. And whatever the software we install, whatever the software we use, whatever the apps we use, apps or softwares or whatever it may be, right? Hundreds and thousands of apps, applications, apps, all, what are they? Okay, these number. All the apps, all the softwares also maintained or controlled by the operating system. Okay, operating system is at the highest level. Without operating system, we cannot interact with the system. We cannot interact with the system. We need an operating system. Operating system acts as an interface between human being and machine. And we can say operating system is composed of thousands of components, thousands of programs. One or two, only one or two programs, 10 programs, or 100 programs. Operating system. Any example for operating system? Windows operating system. In our laboratory, we use Windows operating system. In our desktops, laptops, we use Windows operating system. And other open source softwares are there. Linux operating system. What is that one? Linux. Winner ఎప్పుడైనా Linux operating system? Linux operating system. Ubuntu Linux అంటారు. The most known operating system. Linux operating system. But most of the people knows only the Windows operating system. And when it comes to mobile phone, we have the Android operating system. And when it comes to Apple, iOS operating system. Right? All these operating systems are simple software. Simple software or very complex software. Very complex. That operating system is composed of thousands of programs, not one and two. Thousands of programs. Why we need thousands of programs? Because all hardware, all software must be controlled by the operating system. For example, some programs related to mouse, right? Some programs related to keyboard, some programs related to Wi-Fi device, some program related to Bluetooth, some program related to internet, some program related to processor CPU, some program related to RAM, some program related to secondary storage devices. Okay, for each and every component there is a program, not a single program, many programs. Finally, we can say that hundreds and thousands of program. Operating system is composed of hundreds and thousands of program. It is a very big software, right? Generally, we used to say that operating system size is of around more than 2 million lines of code. Oh, sir. Yes. Okay, leave it. All discussion after 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, right? 4 o'clock. Ah. Here sound comes, very big sound comes, large sound comes. Okay. If anyone asks questions, no sound. Huh? We are leaving means full sound is there. Ah, okay. Okay, listen, don't waste time. Discussion later. Ah, ఎక్కడున్నాం ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమా రైట్ we have very famous operating systems are Windows operating system. The other side is that Linux operating system. Okay, last Linux operating system. And other side is mobile phone, Android operating system is there, and iOS operating system is there. So, what is the size of these operating systems? Any idea? The size operating system or the program size basically measured in lines of code. What we say LOC, LOC, lines of code. Or we used to measure KLOC, kilo lines of code. Kilo means thousand lines of code, right? Now, what is the size of the Windows operating system? Can anyone guess? 10,000 or 1 lakh or 5 lakhs? Hmm? We are simply using the operating system, right? Without any error, right? Without any error, we are using the operating system. But in reality, the background operating system is a simple one, not a simple one, simple program. It is around more than 2 million lines of code. 2 million lines of code. That means million means 10 lakhs. That is more than 20 lakhs lines of code. Operating system contains 20 lakhs lines of code. Maintaining 20, okay, last, just maintain silence. Okay, very less time is there. Ah. More than 2 million lines of code. Maintaining 2 million lines of code is an easy task, not an easy task. Why? In our laboratory, when we write a simple program, 10 lines or 20 lines, okay, we used to remove those errors. It may take 30 minutes or 1 hour time, right? Lot of time to remove those bugs and correct the program for 10 lines, 20 lines, 50 lines. Then what about the 20 lakhs lines of code? Easy task? It is not an easy task. Very tough job, right? Thousands of engineers sit together to develop the Windows operating system, okay? And they used to spend thousands of dollars to develop the operating system, right? And remember one point regarding operating system, last noise is coming. Ah. Regarding operating system, as an engineering student, we must practice everything under Linux operating system only. Remember that one. This is the best practice. All of you note down that one. Okay? Don't practice in Windows operating system. As an engineering student, as a computer science, okay, you must be perfect with Linux operating system. Linux operating system is a very perfect operating system, very strong operating system. Most of the supercomputers, all those computers run by the Linux operating system only, not the Windows operating system. Not the Windows operating system. Remember that one. Okay? If you have the laptops, go with dual booting. Dual booting means dual boot. Dual booting. We used to say that dual booting. We can have more than one operating system in our laptops or desktops. Right? We can install 2 operating systems, 3 operating systems in our laptops also. We can use it one at a time. We cannot use 3 operating systems at the same time, but we can use it one at a time, right? Okay. Okay, we'll start the second chapter. Just note on that one. Headings, make it fast. Don't waste time. ఎవరు నేనా మీరు మీరా మరి ఏం రాస్తారు మరి వేస్ట్ టైం అంతే లేదా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అదే మొత్తం డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి సెషన్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఏమైనా న్యూస్ వచ్చిందా ఓకే నాకు గుర్తు చేయకు సార్ ఓకే డోంట్ వేస్ట్ టైం అట్లీస్ట్ సమ్ టాపిక్స్ విల్ రివైజ్ ఇట్ మేక్ ఇట్ ఫాస్ట్ ఫస్ట్ హెడింగ్ selection making decision no need selection making decision just note down the definition first definition selection allows us make it fast don't waste time at least some definitions some syntaxes selection allows us to choose between two or more alternatives it allows us to take the decision only the first point finish just note down the diagram what happened this only the first line is enough okay maintain silence okay afterwards you can talk session after the session finish okay you write it if else the first heading leave that no problem just heading is if else just write the definition and syntax if expression, then statement 1, else statement 2. Here syntax is nothing but the procedure. If expression, statement 1, else statement 2. Don't write this one. Just write the syntax, this one. Okay, don't make noise. I'll read out. If expression, statement 1, else statement 2. Right? How to understand this one? If the expression value true or false, only true or false. Right? Possible values, only two. Either true or false. If it is true, execute the first statement. Right? If it is true, execute the first statement. If it is false, statement 2 will be executed. Statement 1, path 1, statement 2, path 2. Even though we have one path, two paths or multiple paths, finally one path will be selected for execution, for processing. Finish? Just note down the example. Make it fast. At least we'll discuss some 3, 4 topics in a given time. If A equals to B, just perform that A plus plus. Increment, right? Increment in a, what is A plus plus? Increment. Minus minus, decrement. Two variations are there in increment, decrement. Any variations in increment, decrement? A plus plus, plus plus, A. Two types are there. Operators. What is that first one and what is that second one? Postfix and prefix. If the operator is end, at the end, it is called postfix. If it is in the beginning, it is called prefix. Right? Prefix increment, postfix increment. Can you tell me the value of A? For example, A equal to 5. Those two are separate statements, for example. If A equal to 5, what is the value of A plus plus and what is the value of plus plus A? Ah, here we'll do the mistake. Increment means just 5 increment 6. But what is the answer? A plus plus value is 5 and plus plus A value is 6. Right? Why? This increment will takes place after execution of completion of that statement. Okay? First print the value of A5, then the increment will takes afterwards. Increment will take afterwards. Remember that one. But when it comes to prefix, opposite. In the beginning itself, it will increment it and display the output. Right? ఇక్కడ A ప్లస్ ప్లస్ అంటే జస్ట్ 5 వస్తుంది ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయండి మీ ల్యాబ్లో ఓకే మీ ల్యాబొరేటరీలో ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసేటప్పుడు A ప్లస్ ప్లస్ 5 ప్లస్ ప్లస్ A is 6 when these two statements are different statements. రైట్. ఓకే, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నోట్ చేసుకున్నారా? నెక్స్ట్ వన్, నెస్టెడ్ ఇఫ్ స్టేట్మెంట్. Nested if statement. Shh. How to understand this one? An if statement inside another if statement. It is called nested if statement. Just note down the syntax. Just write the definition first line and note down the syntax. Just note down only the syntax. If expression 1, then note as it is. Use the blocks. Definition. Don't have time, right? Both of you.
రే నాయిస్ ఎందుకు వస్తుంది? క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నారు కదా.
Make it fast. Note the syntax as it is. Use box. That is very important to understand the concept.
నాకు ఎంత కూడా నాయిస్ రాకూడదు. రే చెప్తున్నా. బుక్స్ ఉన్నాయి డెస్క్ల మీద. సార్ క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నారు. నోట్ చేసుకోవడం, డౌట్లు ఉంటే అడగడం. ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఉన్నారు కదా, లేదా సార్ ఉన్నారు, అంతే. సెకండ్ థింగ్ ఏం జరగకూడదు అక్కడ, అంతే. నాయిస్ వస్తుంది ఇంకా.
Finish. Note down the syntax as it is with boxes, right? How it works. Okay. If expression 1, for every expression, two possible values, right? True and false. For this, true or false. If the expression value true, enter into this area, in this area, right? Enter into this area. If it is false, where we need to go? Else. False, else. Both are same, right? If the expression value false means execute the else statement, else part. Execute the else part. Simple logic, right? If the expression value true, enter into this area. Again, some conditions are there. Again, condition is there. Again, expression 2. Again, two possible values, true, false. True means statement 1. If it is false, else part, statement 2. Okay? When we use block concept, nested if statements, okay, write it carefully. Strictly follow the syntax. That is very, very important. Otherwise, we'll miss the logic. Okay? Just note down the sample for the same nested if statement. Just 10 seconds, 20 seconds. If A less than or equal to B, this is nothing but where we can use a condition is there, the main condition. Under this main condition, we have sub conditions are there, right? Main condition, under main condition, we have sub condition are there, many sub conditions. In that case, we can go with nested if statement. Nested if statement. If A is less than or equal to B, again condition. If A less than B, printf percentage is less than percentage D. Else percentage D equal to percentage D. Okay, the first percentage D refers to A. This is about A, this is about B. Okay, don't confuse. The reference. First percentage D is referring A, second percentage D is referring B. This is the order. A, B. This is the main expression. If it is true, then enter into this one. If it is false, execute this else part. Again, true false here, right? If it is true, this printf will be executed. If it is false, else part, this one will be executed. Right? Confusion ఏం లేదు కదా. If statement inside another if statement. It is called nested statement answer. ఇంకోటి ఏంటిది లూప్స్ వస్తుంది. లూప్స్ వస్తుంది కదా, nested loops అంటారు. A loop inside another loop. Simple definition. A loop inside another loop is called nested loop. Nesting means grouping. Multiple loops are there. Next one, conditional expression. Make it fast. Same as if else statement only. The other way to write if else statement by using conditional expression. We say that it is ternary operator, the question mark symbol and colon symbol. Question mark and colon. C provides a convenient alternative to the traditional if else statement for two-way selection, that is the ternary conditional expression. The ternary conditional expression. Just write the syntax. Don't write all the content, just only underlined one. Syntax. Expression, question mark, expression 1, colon, expression 2. Expression, question mark, expression 1, colon, expression 2. Okay? How to understand this one? The expression value true, false, right? True or false, only one. For every expression, only two possible values will be there, right? Either true or false. If it is true, then expression 1 will be executed, same as if else. If it is false, expression 2 will be executed. That's it. Okay? This is about expression. Expression has two values, either true or false. If it is true, expression 1. If it is false, expression 2. Same as if else statement. Same as if else statement. Just note down the example. A equals to B question mark sum A plus plus colon B plus plus. If the value of A equals to B is true, C plus plus will be executed. If it is false, D plus plus will be executed, processed. Finish? Next one, multi-way selection. Write down, multi-way selection. Make it fast. Just write underlined one only. In addition to two-way, when it comes to programming language, if it is a one-way or two-way or three ways or four ways, finally only one way will be executed. Only one way is processed out of many, not more than one. Only one statement will be processed at one time. The previous topic is two-way selection. Next one, multi-way selection. When we have multiple options are there, out of multiple options, one option is selected for execution, for processing. Finish? Just note down only the underlined ones. Don't write other content. Write down next switch statement. Okay, and note down the syntax also. Switch expression, switch block open, then case constant 1, colon statements. Case constant to some statements. At the end of each case, we must have break statement. At the end of each case, we must have the break statement to break the execution process. Otherwise, all cases will be executed. At the end of case, just add break statement here. Break, break statement, break and break. Write the break statement, break semicolon. Finish. And note down one example also. Switch some print flag. What happened? Don't write case 1